guys, and welcome to another ASMR video. Today I thought I'd do some reading for you guys, and of course reading can be a bit weird on YouTube. It's a really grey area, as most of YouTube copyright is usually, apart from music really, which is very straightforward I suppose. But a lot of the other areas are very grey. I have been toying with the idea of writing stuff myself, of course. I haven't gotten around to that just yet, sadly, but I thought that this would be a nice compromise for the meantime. Before I discussed with you guys about, dealing with difficult people as a book, I thought that kind of idea, that kind of information, more almost educational in a way, is kind of helpful. I almost feel like maybe we could even analyse some books, and thus it would be educational, which hopefully would be acceptable under YouTube guidelines as regards exempt from copyright. I thought that could be actually really cool if I went through a book and analysed passages and stuff like that with you guys, kind of really English major, English graduate type stuff, because that's what I'm really interested in. I also thought about maybe reading my essays to you guys at some point from university, but I would probably need to look through and hope that they don't give anything too much away about me. First of all, I really don't want to dox myself to the internet, but for today I thought we'd go with one of my other interests that I feel like really does fit in that informative bracket still, but is a little bit more entertaining at the same time for those who might not want to fall asleep, but instead relax. And then if you're not interested in this, well, it's just blah 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 for you to fall asleep to, I suppose. But yeah, so this is what I have. To read tonight: the Marvel book. Expand your knowledge of a vast comics universe. So I thought we'd just read a little bit of this and see where we get to. So it's a really nice book. I'm going to try and not show images so you don't feel like you're missing out. And then, you won't have to feel like you have to keep your eyes open for this. But first off, I just hit something I really think I probably went badly. I've had to turn off my sound again so I can't hear what you guys are hearing right now, because I keep panicking, getting anxious about my content, because I am a massive panicker by nature. But I have to film this video. I have to do it because I need to prove to myself that I can do this, and keep proving to myself I can do this. It's actually really weird before I start. It's actually really weird because other content, streaming games, and talking about my opinions on my podcast, that comes easy to me. But it feels like talking about my feelings and being more open about my interests in the way you would for ASMR is actually really scary and really worrying. I feel like, will people accept me in this kind of community, etc.? And I hope so. But even if they don't, even if you guys don't, I've done it for me. And that's the main point, I suppose. But of course, I would still like you guys to enjoy the videos, and I hope that you do. But with that said, let's read a little about Marvel. This is the introduction. The multimedia phenomenon we all know as Marvel began in the fall of 1961, when comic book editor and writer Stan Lee and his top artist Jack Kirby created the company's first superhero comic in 6 years. The move would revolutionize an industry slowly emerging from a bleak downturn, but which had once enjoyed massive popularity. Comic books were invented in 1933 immensely and instantly popular and generating astounding sales, the innovation galvanized established book and magazine publishers who clambered aboard the gaudy bandwagon. Soon, dozens of companies had their own contingents of mystery men. I also realised I was covering my face with the book. I apologise about that. It was just this dark, looming cloud of Marvel. I really need to get used to setup for this type of thing. Also, doesn't help that, as you guys probably saw, I've set up in a different place today. I really couldn't sit at my desk behind me. I just didn't have the stamina for it. I know that sounds really weird, but it's true. Sometimes I just can't sit at a desk. So I'm sat on the floor. And you guys are perched on my bed actually at the moment. And yeah, it's actually quite cozy, I think. But yeah, in case you're wondering why we changed location. Today I'm on the floor. So, continuing on, publish and be damned. One such company was Newsstand Publications, owned by Martin Goodman. I've moved the book into the camera again. 1 second. There we go. Which offered numerous pulp magazines, prose periodicals in a range of popular genres: science fiction, western, detectives, sports stories, trouble adventures, and more. I'm really trying to work out how best to position the book. This is bad. I'm sorry, it's a little bit chaotic. In 1939, Goodman founded Timely Publications to exploit the superhero craze, outsourcing creative duties to professional writers and cartoonists. He published Marvel Comics #1 in October 1939, which introduced the Human Torch and Submariner to the world. Also included in the anthology were gag pages, prose short stories, and 3 other comic strip adventures: The Western, Masked Raider, and 2 revamped Goodman pulp stars: Hardboiled Detective The Angel and Jungle Lord Kazar the Great. With a monster hit on his hands, Goodman renamed his hit title Marvel Mystery Comics and began flooding the newsstands with more of the same. In 1941, Timely struck gold a second time when industry innovators Joe Simon and Jack Kirby created Captain America, an icon of the era as the US entered World War II. Success triggered explosive expansion. Goodman stuck with a tried and true pulp formula, creating similar patriotic warriors whilst also developing comics for every conceivable genre, and cancelling anything that wasn't an instant success. In 1947, Timely transformed into Atlas, a major comics player essentially following sales trends. I'm really bad at reading apparently. Relentlessly following sales trends. Atlas was the name of Goodman's distribution arm, selling not just comics, but periodicals, books, and magazines. Comic book readers, however, simply came to recognize the Atlas logo on covers as a mark of quality, thanks to many of the industry's greatest names producing impressive, memorable work. Atlas shrugged. Back in 1939, Goodman had hired his wife's cousin, 17-year-old Stanley Lieber, as a general office assistant. 2 years later, after his comic book managing editor Joe Simon quit, the apprentice became the new boss. Barring his war service, Lieber, who later changed his name to Stan Lee, would steer the comics division for decades to come, ultimately changing the face of comic books. In the years before television ownership was widespread, comic books were hugely successful. However, the advent of free entertainment in the home changed everything. Rapid shifts in reading tastes made it hard to repeat the comic book successes. That's a hard word. Successes of the war years. Readers failed to distinguish one cowboy hero or funny animal from another. Comics began to increasingly rely on licensed stars of films and TV to headline their titles. In the early 1950s, Atlas tried to remove Captain America, Submariner, and the Human Torch, but the public weren't buying it. Revive, sorry. I thought that sounded weird. Revive. This is going very, very badly. Oh gosh, I'm rewriting Marvel history as I read it. To make matters far worse, the industry came under concerted fire for corrupting Americans' youth. That always seems to be an excuse, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not American, of course. I'm from the UK. I don't know if I've said that before, but I am. And I find that to be something that's used quite a lot as a phrase, especially in America. It's corrupting the youth. Even today, it's used, and it's very inflammatory, a very basic tactic for inflaming issues. It seems weird to me. I don't know. It seems so like it's so trite and done. Like the things that were corrupting the youths 50 years ago, like comic books, haven't done anything so far. Really, have they? So, how does that excuse still stand up? I don't quite get it. That's a little bit of a tangent from me there. Sorry about that. Where were we? The attack was sparked by one Dr. Frederick Wortham, a child psychologist who claimed to have found a causal link between violent comics and juvenile delinquency in his 1954 book. The seduction of the innocent seized on by the media. The issue became so heated they resulted in Senate hearings in 1954. That's crazy. It prompted those publishers that managed to survive the ensuing public scrutiny and censure to institute a draconian self-regulatory Comics Code Authority to prove they had cleaned up their act. It wasn't enough. In 1957, Atlas Distribution founder and their comic book line imploded, barely hanging on the skeleton staff, only publishing 16 titles every other month. Popular genres included teen humor, westerns, and science fiction. Monsters, however, industry leader National Periodicals had just begun reviving superheroes for a new space age generation. This time, kids were on board and sales started slowly rising. Legend has it that Goodman, ever sensitive to trends, told Lee the company had to give superheroes another go. Marvel Tales. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby launched the Fantastic Four in 1961, they discarded all preconceived notions for costumed crusaders. Rather than being comradely and clean-cut, these were almost heroes by accident. Raucous, self-absorbed, and argumentative. And they didn't wear costumes. These humans were all too human. It was a revelation, and an instant hit with a new generation of readers, savvy, college-age kids, keenly attuned to a fast changing world. I also realised, by the way, that I face revealed by accident a few times during this video. I think I've done it a bit before in others as well. I'm not too worried about that, by the way. It's just I like this setup of kind of removing the face out of the equation, because I think it adds a little bit to the intimacy of just talking. I really like it when other creators do it. It removes the person, not in a negative way, but it gives more to the video itself. But if I do accidentally face reveal, don't stress too much. I'm not panicked by it. I've done it too much on the internet already. Another little side note by me, I suppose. I can't just read, apparently. I like to just talk and talk and talk. Sorry, guys. Where was I? It was a revelation and an instant hit with a new generation of readers, savvy, college-age kids, keenly attuned to a fast-changing world, and more than ready for relatable stories, mature themes, and complex characters. Upsetting the status quo became the norm for newly named publisher Marvel Comics, as Lee and his growing band of co-creators debuted in swift succession a range of compelling anti-heroes and resplendent superheroes. One was a misunderstood gamma-irradiated monster called the Hulk. Another, a nerdy teenager whose guilt makes him become the hero, Spider-Man. And another who claimed to be a Norse god, stranded on Earth by his father to teach him humility. And none were really trusted by those they saved or the public at large. That outcast theme shaped all eras of Marvel's output and continues this day, from mutant outsiders, the X-Men, and alien gangs such as the Guardians of the Galaxy, to crazed vigilantes like the Punisher and the lunatic mass murderer Deadpool, to the satirical comedy relief of Howard the Duck and Squirrel Girl. In the 1960s, however, Marvel's runaway success took everyone by surprise, bringing with it a change Lee's increasingly limited time and resources combined, bring with it a change, full stop. Gosh, I missed that. Lee's increasingly limited time and resources combined with demanding publishing schedules led to a new way of working. Eschewing detailed scripts, which is common practice in the comics industry, veteran illustrators Kirby, Steve Ditko, Don Heck, Bill Everett, Marie Severin, and Lee's brother Larry Lieber would direct stories from a plot outline. After basing settings and action were laid down on paper, the story would then be scripted, lettered, and inked. Talented newcomers who had grown up reading Marvel Comics soon joined the company's expanding ranks, enjoying the creative liberty of collaborative production to push the horizons of graphic storytelling. The era's climate of social unrest and radicalism also permitted creators to explore themes never tackled before. Innovative, influential writers such as Roy Thomas, Archie Goodwin, Steve Gerber, Tom McGregor, Frank Miller, and Louise Simonson, and others were matched by the adventurous visual triumphs of Jim Steranko, Neil Adams, Jim Starlin, P. Craig Russell, and more, all striving to push the comics medium forward. The tradition remains strong as ever today, with brilliant raconteurs like Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Waid, Jason Aaron, G. Willow Wilson, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Jonathan Hickman, Mark Miller, Ed Brubaker, and illustrators like Alex Maleev, Sarah Pichelli, Adi Granov, Joe Quesada, Annie Wu, and others reshaping the Marvel Universe to reflect and challenge modern tastes. This is a little side note, a little side story inside the bullpen. In 1961, Stan Lee oversaw a one-room publishing enterprise in Midtown Manhattan, using freelancers for all aspects of comic book production. With Lee handling much of the writing and editing, he was able to call on arguably the best comic artists in America, Jack Kirby, Jack Kurtzman, and Steve Ditko, unique stylists and gifted storytellers. Both applied their skills convincingly across a range of genres, with Kirby excelling at action-packed science fiction, while Ditko's quirky light touch was perfect for supernatural morality tales. When the Fantastic Four became a hit, the company followed up with an explosion of superhero titles, to which the trio quickly turned their collective talents. As demand increased, so did Marvel's offices, becoming the legendary bullpen, a creative, collaborative hothouse where many veterans and new artists and writers could create the oh my gosh, let's start that sentence again. Would create the pioneering age of Marvels. That is not even 2 pages in, and we're already at a 20-minute video. 20-minute video. That and my leg is just starting to cramp. I think we might leave it there. But if you guys would like to see me go through this book, if you enjoyed this, let me know. I apologize if there was any issues with sound during this. I am, again, still very much trying to sound mix a little better and also work on my voice when I have the headphones in so I can listen to myself without slowing my speech down. But it gives me anxiety when I do because I can't do it very well. I will get there though, I promise. But if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Please subscribe, like, share if you can, and I'll see you guys soon for more. Hopefully more Marvel maybe, or something akin to that. Anyway guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.